never in my career as a lawyer.
Please step to the side.
We have to recycle. For one bedroom to $1,095, and for a two bedroom, $825 to $285. And the reason for that is we have various AMIs in this. We've got the 50%, the 60%, and we're also going up to the 80% AMI. So that way we can get a wider range of individuals. Because we feel like there's probably some individuals that work at the Norton Hospital here that would like to be very close to their work. Some may not, but just in case. So Bridalwood will be a 4-story elevator development, and we will have a plethora of amenities in this development that we're excited about. So I'm just going to go through the quick list. We will have on-site management and maintenance. We'll have a community room with a kitchenette for any gatherings that the residents might want to have. We'll have a fitness room, a children's play room, a library computer room, a game room that includes a pool table, laundry room, in addition to washer and dryer hookups in every unit, co-office working space. You know, since COVID, we see a lot of people now working from home, and we thought maybe we would try this and have a workspace where we have several different units set up in this room so that individuals working from home, they might get tired of only seeing themselves, and this is a way that they can get to know residents within their building. We have additional tenant storage for each unit, trash chutes, playground, an outdoor terrace, grills and picnic area. We'll also have a dog park, and then we'll have security. Our unit features will include a stove, range, refrigerator, dishwasher, and garbage compactor, and a microwave. We'll have luxury LVT flooring, ceiling fans in the bedrooms, LED lighting, and high-efficiency hot water heaters and furnace. This development will be energy efficient. We'll have a terrace on the second floor, lobby spaces, night lighting in the hallways, parking lot lighting, and of course we'll have security cameras all over the place. So as you can see, this place is going to offer a lot in addition to the services that Goodwill will also offer, and I'll let them speak more about that here in a minute. So right now, I would like to introduce our partners on this. It's been a great working relationship with Goodwill of Kentucky. We hope to do many more with them. So at this time, oh, no, I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself. At this time, they changed the thing on me. This time, I'd like to actually introduce the mayor of Louisville, Mayor Greenberg. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. It is wonderful to be joining with us. Thanks so much to our partners at Woda Cooper. Thank you so much to Amy and everyone with Goodwill. Thanks to all the elected officials. Senator Neal, great to see you. Great to see all my colleagues, friends from around West Louisville, from around the entire city, from around the entire state, who are gathering here today because we all share a common goal, and that is to build more quality, affordable housing in every corner of our community. It is one of the top priorities of my administration, has been since the day I was elected mayor, and will continue to be until the last day I am mayor. Because when you talk about housing, you're talking about stability, foundation, a foundation for every family. You're talking about families being able to plan ahead, kids having a place to do their homework, to enjoy life, people being able to focus on work, on school, on their future. Without quality housing, everything else that we all want for ourselves and other Louisville families is not possible. And that's why today's announcement, this project, is so important. Last week, I met DeCoriana Garrett. She's a teacher and a mother of 4. She worked her way through our city's Healthy Start program. She finished her degree. And she was the very first person in our Delta Home Down Payment Assistance program to buy a house utilizing that program. I remember standing with her last week on her new front porch and sharing her and her family's emotions that are going to, because owning a home is bringing that family stability, safety, and represents all of the hard work that they've put into getting to that point. It's families like that that we're looking to help. Whether they're buying a home or renting a home, a safe, quality, affordable home is the foundation for every Louisville family, just like the Corianis. And I'm proud that our team has worked so hard for the past 3.5 years that we've been able to create or preserve over 7,000 new units of affordable housing since I took office. That's great progress. But all of us here today know that's not nearly enough. And that's why, as excited as we are about today, we have to channel this excitement to do projects like this over and over and over again, right here in West Louisville, in East Louisville, in South Louisville, in the middle of our city, because every corner of our city has families who need more affordable housing. You can see some of the progress that's happening right now. You can see it in the Russell neighborhood with the Eclipse. You can see it downtown with the Prestonian. You can see it at Gateway on Broadway, where a vacant building now houses more than 100 seniors. You can see it in Shawnee and Portland and neighborhoods all across Louisville where new housing is being built. Whether it's new projects like the one we're building here or old properties that are being brought back to life. All of this is important. And this project right here on the Goodwill Opportunity Campus is especially impactful because not only will all of these families have such a great quality place to call home, you just heard all about those wonderful amenities, but being right next door to the Goodwill Opportunity Campus, to have the services that Goodwill provides to families to help them strengthen their lives, to have more job opportunities than they may have ever had in the past, to be in walking distance from a hospital. How many people in Louisville, regardless of what neighborhood you live in, can walk to a hospital? Whether it's for a good job or because it's one of those days that you're in need of medical treatment. This is a unique site. I'm incredibly proud to support this project. Our administration wants to do everything we can to support this and other projects like it. Because today, we're standing on a construction site. But next year, families will be moving in. Families will be stabilized and have opportunities that they have not had before. So friends, thank you all so much for your support of this project. Thanks for your support of Goodwill. Let's keep going. Let's keep this excitement going. Let's keep working harder. Let's keep funding projects like this. And together, we will build more safe, quality, and affordable housing all across the entire city of Louisville. Thank you all so much, and congratulations.
I do want to add, Mayor, that it is always nice when you go into a community and you have the administration standing behind you for affordable housing because there are a lot of communities they don't want affordable housing. So it's always refreshing when you have the mayor of the city that's really pushing affordable housing. So we thank you. Uh, and I was remiss to say that we just finished up another development here in Louisville. It's down on 3rd Street Road in Outer Loop, Whitewood. It's a senior development, and we're still leasing up. So if y'all know anybody who wants a nice place, it's got just as many amenities as I just announced here. All right, so since I've jumped ahead, now I want to introduce our partners in this development. It's been a 2-year partnership, and like I said, it's been rewarding and interesting, and we've been very fortunate to work with partners like this. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Amy Luttrell and Mark Holman with Goodwill Industries Company.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome. We really appreciate you coming out to celebrate with us today. We have a beautiful day, don't we? We ordered it up special. So I want to draw your attention over here while you're here. We have food from Black Coffee, and everything they make is good, right? Ronielle's here somewhere. There she is, Ronielle. And they have these special little Woda Cooper cookies. You got to get one of those. That'll be like a souvenir of the day. But thank you all for being here. You know, some of you here I know, and some of you I don't, and some of you may be thinking, I don't really think I understand Goodwill. You know, they operate thrift stores, then they built this opportunity center, and now I really, what is the threat that can draw that together. So I'm going to make that really simple for you. If you're having a hard time putting all that together, Goodwill, Kentucky is here for only one thing, and everything we do supports that one thing. And that one thing is to help your fellow Kentuckians find pathways out of poverty, all the way out of poverty. Okay? And we know nobody wants to live in poverty, but people experience many roadblocks that keep them there, where they really don't have any choices. So Goodwill has really worked hard the last few years, and with our partners, to bring together resources that can help knock down those barriers so people can do what they really want to do. Now, the people who tend to come to Goodwill have a lot of needs. They're usually starting with nothing. People come to us when they're getting out of drug treatment and they're thinking, I wonder what I'm going to do next. People coming out of prison that are thinking, nobody wants me. How am I going to get a job? I got to get a job. How am I going to get a job? People living on our streets who think this is just how it is. Not much I can do about it. So we are there to really walk beside them, show them that somebody cares what happens to them and help them knock those barriers down so that they can go on to live a different kind of life. And many of our own team members now started in those places and are now doing important work for Goodwill and for other employers throughout Kentucky. We have a lot of great employer partners who hire our people after they go, okay, I can see this is a person who's got some stability, who's got some skills. Yes, I'm going to give them a chance. That's what we do. We use our jobs for that. We use our opportunity centers for that. So why in the world is Goodwill doing housing? Housing is one of the biggest barriers. If you don't know where you're going to sleep next week, how can you be a reliable worker? Impossible. So we did not want to do housing. I said we're not going to do housing. Okay? But my staff didn't pay any attention to me because they could see a lot of our people, there's waiting lists, and a lot of our people couldn't even get on a waiting list because they had felonies in their background. What is the answer for them? We could not come up with any answers. So we started trying to provide some answers. We leased apartments over on further east on Broadway, the Fincastle building. But we thought, boy, this costs a lot of money. This is a drop in a bucket. What can we do? We can't keep on doing this. We don't have enough money. So that's when I sent Mark Coleman, our CFO, to school. So there's not an accredited university for this, but the housing world is very complicated. And I said, Mark, because he's good at that, you got to do some research, you got to learn, we got to understand, we got to penetrate this world. We need to learn who's doing what, get to know them, explain to them what we have to offer and what we don't have to offer, and how we might like to work with them. So Mark has done a tremendous amount of work that has brought us all here today, and later next year is going to result in 76 beautiful 1 and 2 bedroom apartments on this campus filled with people who did not really have very good options. So I want to thank Mark for that, and then I'm going to turn it over to him.
Thank you, Amy. And at the risk of seeming, self-serving, there's not many people in Kentucky who care about Kentucky and getting out of poverty more than Amy Luttrell. So I think she deserves a round of applause. So my name is Mark Homan, and I serve as the CFO. But I also have the privilege, thanks to Amy, of working on some challenging issues that are personal to me: education and housing. So last month, the mayor was there for this. We celebrated our 4th graduation of our Excel Center, right? And I got all the Goodwillers. They know what it is. 75% of the people here do not know what that is. That is a free adult high school that, thanks to the legislature, it's funded. And so that adults who didn't do well when they were teenagers, right, they get a second chance to have a diploma and a workforce credential. So that's my favorite thing. And thank you, Mayor Greenberg, for supporting that as well. And part of what we did there is we give people opportunity and the right supports. Those two things. Our Goodwill core values are hope, dignity, partnership, service, right? And so that's what I think Opportunity Village does. That's what this is about. So I want to speak to Woda Cooper personally and really thank them for being effective partners. Now this is, I asked David, I said, is this number 300? He says, try like 399. So they've done it a few times. As much as we were nervous about having a groundbreaking, you did this. You knew what you were doing. But they develop attractive, high quality, and perhaps most importantly, they maintain them as affordable properties. And we heard clearly from the community that appearance matters. To keep this looking nice, they told that to us during our listening sessions. This should be something that residents and neighbors are proud of, and I believe it will be. And just as importantly, WODA evaluates each prospective resident on their own merits. Their approach to tenant selection is thoughtful, non-judgmental, and centered on the individual as a human being, not simply on a person that's made mistakes in their past. So thank you, David, and thank you. It's been great partners. And now I want to thank the people, it's a long list, that helped me go to school on housing. So I'll start with the Kentucky Housing Corporation, the staff. Thank you for that. I really appreciated all the efforts there. Thank you. There you are. All right. Yes. I know Wendy's not here, but there are many people that really have, Winston and others. The Housing Partnership Inc. team is here. Thank you. PNC, Truist, Louisville Metro, Affordable Housing Trust Fund. It's been a great group of people, and also would be remiss to not thank the guy standing behind the spreadsheets, which is Andrew Wise, who's over there in the green. Thank you, Andrew. So every time I come up with a week game, he gets a crazy idea. You know how that works. It goes downhill, right? So Andrew's the guy who helps me make this possible. Finally, just to thank the other nonprofits that I've met who are now our friends. Habitat, River City Housing, Volunteers of America, New Directions Housing, St. John Center, HPI, the list goes on. I've missed some people, but thank you for what you do, because we know, and I know all the career coaches that are here for Goodwill, it takes collaboration, persistence, and shared belief in people's potential to make this possible. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a fun trip, hasn't it, Mark? Uh, so when Mark first interviewed us, and I have to tell this, he interviewed several different development companies, I think here in Louisville, and I wasn't aware of that, and he interviewed us. So I'm at a function, and I had some of our competitors come out and say, "Oh, well, congratulations on your deal, because I know you're going to get awarded." And I thought they was talking about Bright Award. I said, "Oh, thanks." And they're like, "No, the new one that's going in." And I'm like, "What are you?" I said, "We haven't even submitted it yet." And they're like, "Oh, you all will get it." And there was 3 different competitors standing there, and I'm like, "Well, how do you all know about this?" And they said, "Oh, each of us talked to Goodwill." And I looked at him and smiled and I said, "Ah, so the girl won." So I just had to throw that out there. So thank you, Mark. So I didn't go into much about Woda Cooper. I think David will talk more about who Woda Cooper is, but I do want to see who all we have here from our Woda Cooper team. It's a team event. Woda Cooper Companies is a development company, a management company, and a construction company. So we do the full gambit of it, and that's one of the reasons I think why our properties from day one to year 25 still look as though they did on day one, because we care and our management company puts the property first. So I just want to, I don't know, here we have our construction team. We've got Brittany, we've got Chris, who is our superintendent. We've got Devitt, who is a development specialist. Who else we got here? We've got Jill, who is our event coordinator, who put all this together. Who else do we have here? Raise your hand if you're with Woda, because I can't see everybody. Oh, we've got our management team here. We have got Mindy and Tracy and Erica and Shelby and Jordan. So, I mean, you can see it takes a lot of people to pull this together. I work on the development side, so I'm down in the nuts and bolts putting the deals together. But then we have our construction team that comes in, and of course the development group stays involved in all that. And then once construction gets done, then we hand it over to our management. But we all stay involved throughout so that we make sure that there's no cracks and no I isn't dotted and no T isn't crossed. So I think we do a very good job at that, and we've got a great team here in Kentucky that we work with. Next, I would like to introduce Susan Witten, who is the state representative, who supports affordable housing by focusing on market-based solutions, supply-side reform, and zoning modernization to overcome the state's housing shortage. Representative Witten.
Thank you so much and good morning. I am incredibly honored to be here today, not only as the legislator, but as a citizen of Louisville. I have been honored over the past few years to have been working with Goodwill about the housing shortage that we have in the state of Kentucky. And so I just want to spend a few minutes just to really brag on them as a group of people that care about Kentucky. Goodwill Kentucky has done incredible work for our city, and I'm so excited about this newest contribution. So I want to thank you for the work that you do every day for the unhoused and vulnerable members of our community. I am proud to share that through Goodwill Kentucky, 115 people in Louisville were moved from being unhoused into safe and stable housing just within the last year. Your investments in the city of Louisville are inspiring and are making real, true change. The Opportunity Village, as we've heard before, is another tool in the toolbox for helping Kentuckians with housing. The goal with this project is self-sufficiency and growth for those in need. I know that Opportunity Village will have a positive impact on Louisville and continues to, offering a second chance and helping our most vulnerable. Goodwill Kentucky has already been successful through community outreach and connecting people to resources, as well as providing transitional housing at their fence castle location, which Amy's talked about briefly. And I look forward to seeing our community improving by their work throughout the city. Their compassion has been and continues to be transformative for our city, and I'm so thankful for every effort that they give in Louisville. So as a legislator and as the co-chair of the Housing Task Force over the past 2 years, I'm committed to working towards future solutions to help with the housing crisis that our state faces. Kentuckians dealing with this struggle needs our help, and I'm committed to do my part. And as a state, there must be more for our most vulnerable citizens. And Goodwill Kentucky has shown that it is possible to make lasting changes to fight this problem. So congratulations to everyone here in kicking off this project. And again, thank you for everything you do to help our, thank you for allowing me to be just a small part of this mission. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce Senator Gerald Miller, with whom we cannot do this work. They play a critical role in our ability to provide affordable homes. Oh no, this is wrong. You got it? Now I'd like to introduce Senator Gerald Ford, who is of course known for campaigning affordable housing in Louisville and securing millions in state budget funds. Oh, you're not
A little humility, right?
Hey, I've been in this for 40 years, so.
First of all, is this conversation? I have to tell you, I'm secretly, I'm trying to hold myself down because I know I'm hearing these words from people who are just totally invested in this. But the reality of it is unfolding right before our eyes. How do you not get excited about that? What about that? Give our mayor a round. So you have a mayor that's elected, that's the top elected officials. Then you have folks that are doing that work in the trenches. There's people who conceptualize and make sure that those things come together. And then we not only have a goodwill industry in the footprint, but we have an annual trail who can guide and coordinate. If you know anything about her, she's not going to let you get away. Am I right? All right. Thank you, Amy, for the work that you're doing. I'm going to miss, yes, please. I'm going to miss somebody. I know I'm going to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to list these because I think it's important. Goodwill Industries of Kentucky, Woda Cooper, Kentucky Housing Corporation, the Louisville Affordable Housing Trust Fund, our financial partners, our mayor, which I mentioned, and my colleague, Susan Whitman, who has been doing work in this area for a period of time. She didn't just pop up. This is what she does. This is what she's invested in. And everyone whose work has brought this project to support money. And I probably got somebody out. But I think it's important to outline that over and over again because that's what it takes. It takes people working together with intentionality. Things are not going to be perfect. You got to work to round your way through it, and then you come up with what? Something like we have here today, and that is the fact that we have the groundbreaking for the Opportunity Village, and I want to thank everyone for anything to do with that. Please. I also want to acknowledge the residents. Let me acknowledge the residents and keys, that whole discussion. The workers, the ones that actually have that hands-on piece, the neighborhood leaders, the service providers, and the families of West Louisville. I'm not going to read any of this. I'm just going to talk just a little bit, and I'll be done. You know, I like to think of this as my district, Susan. But I also enjoy welcoming people who are intentional to do work for other people. So thank you for that. But my point is this. I grew up in this neighborhood. I watched it ebb and flow. I watched it rise and parts fall. Then I see a corner right in the heart of my district. Right in the heart of it. The 33rd Central District. And this is not what it looked like 10 years ago. Anybody that knew the history of this corner and they think about what's happening there, and you have a goodwill industry, not somebody doing some work, but a whole community of activity taking place there. You have a hospital that's coming to this particular space. The complement said you have other people that says, hey, we got businesses too, so we're going to continue our stuff and show some grit and stood up with respect to that. And I could go on and on and on, but now today, this is a critical part. We've heard it over and over again. It's a critical part because all of these things are interrelated. All of these things are necessary for growth and development. All of these things are necessary for stability, and all of these things are necessary for a positive future of our overall community. So I applaud everyone that's involved. Let's keep this thing going. I can't wait for the next project. I gotta get over this first, right? Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Senator Neal. Sorry, I'm used to going off my cuff and not going by notes. So, but now that Representative Whitman and Senator Neal has spoken, I'm going to get on my soapbox for a long quick minute. So, Woda Cooper Companies is a member of the Kentucky Affordable Housing Coalition. The Kentucky Affordable Housing Coalition is made up of developers, management companies, architects, market analysts, anybody in the affordable housing arena. For 8 years now, we have been trying to get estate credit passed here in Kentucky. Looks like some flowers broke. But we haven't been successful. Right now, Kentucky sits on an island all by itself. All the states around us have state credits. Michigan just passed a state credit last month. These state credits will give the Commonwealth of Kentucky a better opportunity of more housing. It would double what we're doing each year. because the Kentucky State Housing Corporation only has a minute amount of credits. This would double that. So I urge Representative Whitten, Senator Neal, and everybody here who lives in the state of Kentucky to contact your representative and talk to them about we need the state credit. It's very important because soft funds are dwindling every day. And in order to make these deals work, it takes a lot of money, as you're hearing from people that's going to be coming up. And without those soft funds, there's going to be less and less affordable housing developments done, and we can't stand for that. So, like I said, I've been doing this for 40 years. I started when I was 13, and I have seen it all. So I really implore you to reach out to your representatives, your senators, and both of you all. We appreciate any help we can get from you all with trying to get this state ready. Okay, so without this next agency, we wouldn't be here. So I know people have heard about housing credits. Well, housing credits is a very competitive application round. And the state housing, Kentucky Housing Corporation, is the one that administers these credits. So you have to make sure your application is fine-tuned. You've got it's really competitive. So to get this award, we're always very appreciative to the State Housing Agency because it starts with them. Without that allocation of credit, we can't even begin to get the rest of our financing in place. So at this time, I would like to introduce Jake Bush with Kentucky Housing Corporation.
Tammy, thank you very much. Glad to see you. Instead of just plugging you right now 5 or 6 times a day. So, good afternoon, everybody. Jake Bush, Project Specialist for the Multifamily Department of KHC. Oh, sorry about that. I'm really excited to be here because this is a chance for me to see something that I've been working with in some capacity for years. And I actually get to be in person, seeing people's faces as it becomes a reality instead of something in a spreadsheet, which is not really my favorite way of doing things. As a citizen of Louisville, who was working at the ground level of direct service and gas lines to the statewide administrative level that I am currently at, seeing quality new developments here brings me a great sense of pride and relief knowing that there are people in this city who are still serving and being served. We all know that affordable housing is so important because the housing crisis sits at the crux of so many interrelated issues, not just in Louisville, not just in Kentucky, but all over the country. And we all have to remember that making housing affordable to people and available to people is key to alleviating these issues that we're all facing and raising the floor for our friends and neighbors who have the autonomy if they just have the opportunity to go out and seek the best versions of themselves and go on to serve others as well. So here we're going to see 76 units. That's 48 one-bedroom, 28 two-bedroom. If I have that right, I'm going to pretend like I'm not staring at the screen all day remembering that. These will be designed to serve individuals and families with more than a place to live, but a stable place to build security and build strength for themselves. It's going to be a clean and secure and dignified place, which is really what we absolutely have to have. And I think that's something that we find it to be easy to forget right now. I think we all forget and lose sight of what it means to us to be able to walk through a door or to be able to go to the mailbox and find something important. And I think it's easy to forget what trust and community mean. And that's one of the most important things to me about doing this, especially with multifamily, because I think it's very important, and I'm saying this as a desk jockey who works from home. You have to see people's faces, and you have to hear people's voices in order to relate and to understand the importance of all these things that we do. And again, I just think that sense of community and that sense that somebody's going to help serve me and I'm going to help serve them is pretty vital to us just as a community of people out in Louisville, but also just as people. We're not going to be satisfied or actualized people if we don't have these things. KHC, very proud to have awarded $1,482,000 in low-income housing tax credits, and we did this not just because we had a mandate. We have to do this. It's our job, so on and so forth. But we did it because we believed in our partners, and we believed that they were bringing something comprehensive to the table, something that could be successful. They have a proven track record. Woda Cooper's been doing this longer than I knew what a tax credit was, longer than I knew what taxes were, probably. Not that, tell you how young I am, but that's fine. And I think that this whole process has been extremely enlightening and enriching for me. As I said, bugging Tammy multiple times a day, every day. You learn a lot about patience, you learn a lot about cooperation, you learn a lot about teamwork, and you learn a lot about just how big this problem is and how big this process is. So I want to thank you all for that, and I will sit here and list off all of the partners that I'm thankful for that have all been involved in this. If I do that, somebody's going to start playing me off like it's the Oscars, so I'm going to just let you all thank yourselves, if you don't mind. But really, I want to thank you all for this privilege and the thing you do for the city that I call home. So congratulations to you all, and KHC is looking forward to getting more involved with projects like this as we go throughout the years. Hopefully we can make it more. So again, thank you all very much, and thanks for listening.
Thank you, Jake. You can bug me anytime. Our next partner is someone who we wouldn't have this deal without. Like I talked earlier, there's gaps in these, and we can't build anything if we've got a gap. And this next agency, we worked with them on a previous development that we just finished, and I can't speak enough about how wonderful this group and agency is to work with. The people there, the staff, and without them, like I said, we wouldn't have it here. So I would like to introduce Christy McCrady with Louisville Affordable Housing Trust Fund, who gave this development $2.5 million to residents. Thank you.
Thank you, Tammy. And it's really funny because I actually started talking about something with somebody years ago. So good morning. My name is Christy McCrady. I am the Louisville Affordable Housing Trust Fund. But it was sometime before the pandemic when I received a call from somebody at the Goodwill when your offices were down at 4th and Magnolia Park. Yes, 4th and Park. And our offices were closed, so I went down, we had a meeting, we met to discuss their vision. We discussed the fact that Goodwill could provide the job training for those leaving incarceration to earn an income. Goodwill could assist people with the counseling to work through addictions and other vices that were barriers to a stable career, stable home. They could even provide transportation through TARP tickets or other funding. But the one thing that was eluding them was they could not provide a holistic survival kit. Housing was missing. Many in their program were living in shelters, and that was unacceptable. We talked about the need, and that one day, we would work together to address it. So now fast forward to 2026. So now you know how long it takes for a deal to come to fruition. Fast forward to 2026. That was pre-COVID. 2026. You found a partner in Woda Cooper. You put together the capital stack. But this project, like many others that focus on housing affordability, still had a gap. And I am so happy that we were blessed to be able to fill the need, just like we discussed years ago. On behalf of the staff and the board of directors, I see some of my staff and some of our board members here, I'd like to say thank you for your perseverance and your foresight to bring this vision to fruition. It takes persistent partners like you to understand that employment, housing, and training all work together to build stable families. Thank you, Mayor Greenberg, Metro Council, for prioritizing affordable housing. This is the housing that goes beyond what I was told sometimes, hopes and dreams. This goes beyond those hopes and dreams. This is bricks and mortar. It goes to the core of serving the very community in which we live. And when all are given the opportunity to thrive, the entire community will thrive. Thank you. Thank you for having us. Can't wait to do it again.
Christy has been our partner on several of our deals, and we're very appreciative of it. So now we've got our credits and we have our gap. Now what do we need to do? We need to find an investor. So at this time, I would like to introduce to you Brian Graney, who is the principal of Marble Cliff Capital.
Good morning, almost afternoon now. It's truly a pleasure to be here for such a joyous occasion today. My name is Brian Graney. I'm a principal at Marble Cliff Capital. We are a tax credit syndication firm, which means we raise money from banks and corporations to invest in affordable housing, just like Opportunity Village right here in Louisville. Since our firm's founding 6 years ago, we have raised in excess of $550 million from investors for the development of affordable housing across 13 different states. This capital investment is made possible by Section 42 of the Federal Tax Code, which is better known as the Low-Income Housing Tax Credit Program. Born out of the Tax Reform Act of 1986 and celebrating its 40th anniversary this year, the LIHTC program is the most impactful public-private partnership when it comes to development of affordable housing in the United States. Over the past 40 years, the LIHTC program is responsible for the development of more than 4 million affordable housing units across the U.S. But it's not our money or resources that make events like today possible. We are truly honored to partner with First Financial Bank in their steadfast commitment to the development of affordable housing across their banking footprint. And of course, to the partners who made this development possible. Woda Cooper Companies, Goodwill Kentucky, KHC, the City of Louisville, we thank you all for the partnership and collaboration to bring Opportunity Village to fruition. Thank you all again, and I look forward to seeing you all back here again for the grand opening. Thank you, Tammy.
Failed to mention that Marble Cliff is a long-standing partner with Woda Cooper, so we're very appreciative of them, and they brought $13.1 million investment into this deal. I think I didn't tell y'all before, but this is a $19+ million development, so you can see how we need all these additional funds in order to make this work. So now that we have our investor, we have our allocation, we have our gap filled, now we need a perm lender and construction lender. So at this time, I would like to introduce Stephen Tanner with First Financial.
Thank you, Tammy. We provided the link, but I forgot to bring the First Financial Bank cookies, so next time I'll try to remember that. Good morning, everyone. It's a privilege to be here today to celebrate the groundbreaking of Opportunity Village. On behalf of First Financial Bank, I want to share how proud we are to support this important development. First Financial Bank, we provided the investment in the tax credit equity and then also provided the construction loan financing. We did this because we believe deeply in the power of safe, stable, and affordable housing to strengthen individuals, families, and entire communities. Through the partnership with Goodwill Industries, this development is also connected to work opportunities and supportive resources that can help residents build stability and pursue their goals. Projects like this cannot happen without strong partnerships. I want to recognize and thank you for leading this development. Tammy, all your work on the closing calls and throughout the process. David Cooper, a fellow Wittenberg alum, so tiger up. Your continued commitment to creating high quality affordable housing is appreciated. I also want to thank Marble Cliff Capital, the tax credit syndicator, for bringing their expertise and partnership to the financing structure and just making everything easy for us to work on. So a special thank you to Goodwill Industries as well for their vision and leadership. Your commitment to connecting people with opportunity makes this project especially meaningful. Also want to recognize Riddell McCullough, who's put your hand up, and Eric Hauser, is right there. So all your work that you did and your commitment always on this project and many others. Also grateful to the city of Louisville and the state of Kentucky for their commitment to affordable housing and community development. Public sector leadership and investment are critical to making projects like this possible. At First Financial Bank, we know that community development is more about financing buildings. It is about investing in people, neighborhoods, and long-term opportunity. Congratulations to everyone involved in bringing this project to this milestone. We look forward to the building rise from the site. More importantly, to see the positive impact that this project will have on the community. Thank you.
So you see, it takes a lot of different partners to pull a deal off. I do want to say that I am extremely proud of this development too, because I am from Louisville and I was born in the old Methodist Hospital. So to be in the downtown area is exciting for me as well. At this time, I would like to introduce David Cooper, who is the owner of Woda Cooper Companies, and he's been involved in, I can't even tell you how many developments, he can tell you all that, but it's a lot. Thank you.
Thanks, Tammy. I really want to thank Tammy and all of our colleagues for helping get this together today. So first I want to say it's a very humbling experience for our company. You can see all the different people who have trusted us to come in and build this housing, take $20 million, create these units. But don't just build a building. We've got to make sure this building looks great on day 1 and year 5 and year 10 and year 15. Our company is celebrating its 36th year in business this year. We've done about 400 of these developments. We're unusual in the sense that we don't sell our developments. So people like Marble Cliff Capital and First Financial, we couldn't be here today without them. But they know when they do a transaction with us that at the end of 15 years, we're going to buy out their limited partner interest and we're going to continue to operate this property as affordable housing. And that's really critical to us. And we've done that now over 115 times. We've been around long enough that about 115 of our properties, we've bought out the limited partner. The property continues to operate as affordable housing. And why do we do that? We do that because we've made a commitment. We've made a commitment to Goodwill, to the city, to the trust fund, to KHC, that this is going to be long-term affordable housing that will fit into this community, that will be part of the community, and that will serve the community, and we take that very seriously. I do also want to say we partner with a lot of different groups. We work with hospital systems, we work with other Goodwill components and others. I will say we have never worked with a group that's more committed to their mission, better run, and action-oriented than Goodwill of Kentucky. I mean, it really is impressive what that organization does. And so congratulations to your whole team. It's one thing to say we want housing. It's another thing to make it happen. And that is not an easy thing to do. So really appreciate your efforts. So I'm going to wrap up here in a minute. I hope everyone comes and joins us here in about a year when we are back up here celebrating the opening of the building. And today is a wonderful ceremony, but the opening is going to be better. Why is it going to be better? Because we're going to have residents who come to that event. We're going to have people who speak, who talk about how meaningful it is to them to live in the housing, how it is changing and will change their lives. And that's why we all get up in the morning. That's why the 850 people who work for our company are committed to affordable housing. Because when you come to that event, there'll be more than a few tears in the audience. There really will. And then the important thing is, like I've said, come back in 5 years and find a stable community. Come back in 10 years and see the number of people that have had their lives changed. And so thank you all for being here today. I think we are going to have all the speakers join us over to my right for the official ceremony. But thank you all for being here.
Through every note, every performance, the arts connect us. The arts connect us through joy and through awe, bridging cultures and generations. From intimate theaters to the grandest stages, the arts bring us together, reminding us that we're never truly alone. When we experience the arts, we experience each other. Kentucky Performing Arts. The arts connect us.
Never in my career as a lawyer.
We have to be quiet.
I'm about to say while you're up there.
Thank you.
Oh, right. And he had to be up on the tape.
Why is everybody like? Why
Hey
is
y'all,
everybody
I'm Attica
fighting
Scott,
against
former
us?
Kentucky State Representative, and you're joining me today on State Watch Nights.
We will continue to provide updates as we have more information.
And you're joining me today on State Live Streams.